Good morning, children. How are you? Let's start our lesson, Unit 1, Science and Scientific Phenomena. Today is our theme, the man who invented the net. Learning objectives of our lesson: ask and respond to complex questions to get information about a wide range of general and curricular topics. Skim a range of lengthy text with speed to identify content meriting closer reading on a range of general and curricular topics. Write coherently a text level using a variety of connectors on a range of familiar, general, and curricular. Vocabulary. Check these words. Take something for granted. Go to. Tend to. Generation. Massive. Picture. Commonly. Be known as. Come up with something. Initials. Broader. Calculate. Add. Night. Services. Creation. Please answer the questions. What do you know about the invention of the Internet? Thank you for your answer. Please watch this
So what's the
video.
web? It used to be difficult to explain what the web would be like. Now it's difficult to explain why it was difficult.
In 1980, when we used fax machines to share documents and travel agencies to book flights and hotels, Tim Berners-Lee, a young Oxford graduate, first came to CERN as an independent IT professional to computerize CERN's proton synchrotrons control system.
But back in the 1980s, at CERN, it was an exciting place to be. Lots and lots of information systems on different computers, on different networks, all incompatible. So the idea was that one should be able to communicate by sharing information.
He needed to understand a mass of information and how to link people, hardware and software. For that, he wrote a program and named it Enquire, after a Victorian reference book he remembered from his childhood for giving easy access to a mass of useful information. Then he went back to the UK. When he returned to CERN as a fellow in 1984, the laboratory had grown to become a leading centre for data network, and he wrote software that ran over them. In 1989, he saw an opportunity to join hypertext with the Internet.
So CERN was an interesting place to be. It was advanced. It was somewhere where in 1989 most people had some sort of a workstation on their desk, which was unusual then, and a place where the Internet, the network connectivity had just arrived. Well, the network connectivity had been there for a while.
Using similar ideas to those underlying the Enquire system, Tim wrote the first proposal for the World Wide Web in March 1989 and his second proposal in May 1990. Together with Belgian systems engineer Robert Caillot, this was formalized as a management proposal in November 1990. By the end of 1990, Tim Berners-Lee had the first web server and browser up and running on his next computer at CERN.
The number of hits on this machine, it started off as 100 a day, then a year later it was 1,000 a day, and then a year later it was 10,000 a day.
In 1991, the first web server outside of Europe was up at SLAC, the Stanford Linear Accelerator Center in California. Many would follow. In 1993, CERN management decided that the web should act as an open standard for all to use. That was an essential decision.
So the web we have. If we had not had that document from CERN, we would not have the web.
Today, with nearly 2 billion websites, we do not remember and cannot even imagine a world without the World Wide Web.
Exercise 2. Read the text and fill in gaps 110 with an appropriate word. Then listen and read to check. Nowadays, we take going online and searching the net for granted. It has replaced the library as the go-to source of information and is a place where we shop, do business, and communicate over social media. Yet, we tend to forget that is a fairly recent invention that appeared little more than a generation ago. It also seems strange that we have one man to thank for the net. A system so massive that we could never picture our lives without it. That man is Tim Berners-Lee. Berners-Lee was born in London, England on 8 June 1955. He studied physics at Oxford University and after graduation worked as an engineer and software writer. In 1980, he started working for the European Organization for Nuclear Research, more commonly known as CERN. It was at CERN that he first came up with hypertext, a system that would allow users in a company to share information. Later, he would develop this idea to allow users to share information over computer network worldwide. It was this system that would eventually become famous as the World Wide Web with the initials www. Berners-Lee went on to develop the first browser, and on 6 August 1991, the first website went online. It's difficult to calculate, but there may now be over 630 million active websites, and more are being added daily. Berners-Lee was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II in 2004 for services to the global development of the Internet. Sir Tim Berners-Lee's creation has changed the way we see and act in the world, and will continue changing it in ways we cannot imagine in the future. His work will go down in the history of science as perhaps the most important achievements of the 20th century. Now exercise number 3. Fill in history, important, do, famous, source, study, media, noun. Okay, well done. Good job. Thank you very much. Exercise 4. Please answer the questions. Why is the Internet so popular? Thank you for your answer. 2. What do you use the Internet for? Yes, you are right. 3. Think. How will the Internet change our lives in the future? Yes. Thank you for your answers. Let's continue. Exercise 5. Find information about an invention or development that came from your country. You should write who invented or developed it, what it does, and or how it is used. Please write a paragraph about it. Then read. Good job, thank you. Open your diary and write your home task. Exercise 7, 8 on page 8 in your workbook. Thank you very much. Goodbye.